Hi everyone, welcome you all. So previously we have finished string, and from today we are going to discuss what is list and how we can manipulate the list. Although the concept is very similar to strings. Actually strings and list are very closely related. Actually string is a list which is immutable, right, and is composed of characters only. And now we are going to discuss what is list. So list is a collection of multiple items, and very important thing about the list is they are mutable. So unlike string is immutable, but list are mutable. That is, you can change the element. Now when we compare with this string, when we want to update the list, you have to reassign it. But here we can assign the individual element. And today we are going to see how to create the list. So without much delay, let's move to our PyCharm and create the list, right? Just right click no, and we have a file. Let's call it list 01. That's perfectly fine. And just okay, and let me get into presentation mode. So I'm in the presentation mode. Let's type our list. So most importantly, we can create a list in variety of ways. The number one is we are just going to have a variable, let's say let x, and it is empty. So this will create an empty string. Okay, let's have a hash empty list. Now how we can predict this? We can simply have a print, and let's have a function type and have x. Okay, now let us try to execute this piece of our code and check it out. Wait a minute, let me go to the code and run. We are going to run this file. So that's okay. This will execute our previous file. Wait a minute, I forget shortcut key to run the current file. Let's use Alt Shift F10, and this will display me a context menu, and here we are going to choose our file list01 and just click on it. So this will tell you the type of element we have, and it clearly indicates that this is a list. Okay, so now this is the first way of doing it. Let's we have a y is equals to, let's say we have y, and we are going to create the list of elements. So all the elements we can write within the brackets, and the elements can be separated with the help of a comma only. And if we write like this, type y, and still this is going to give me what wait a minute, list only. So the type of y and x both are list. Okay, we can not only have numbers, we can have strings as well. So hi comma bye, and let's say okay, and let's say hello. So again we are having a y1, and let's print type of y1, print type y1. Okay, let's execute this piece of our code and check it out. So we can have list of all type of data. Even what we can do, we can have, let's say y2 is equals to number, and then we have the, let's say strings h hi actually high, and then we can have the value true. Okay, sorry, and I'm going to copy this one, just change this and check it out. What is its type? So it is perfectly fine to have multiple types in the list. Okay, now this is the simple way to do it. Now one more thing, how we can create a list of other type in another way. For example, we are going to have another variable called y3, and this time we will be using a list function. So this will also create a list. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all these so that there is list crowd in my output and you can easily identify what I am want to tell you. Okay, let us execute this piece of our code and you can check it out. We are having a list and it is an empty list, right? So this is another way, and we can have a list manipulated with some elements by simply having list, and then we can have a sequence. Let's say we have a string sequence and a history, and let us check out what is it. Type hy3, and let us run this program and check it out. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a value, let's say z is equals to history, and I'm going to replace it with z, and I will be typing both. I want to print the type of z and type of y4. Okay, so this is the first element which is going to give you output, and let us execute this piece of our code and check out. Now you can clearly see the type of what output we are getting from this string on line number 8, that is string, and from line number 9 we are getting list. So obviously you can guess what is the work of this. Actually this takes a string and converts into a list and assigns to y4. Okay, now so what if I specify list item like we have did here? So I'm going to copy this one and paste it here. So when I execute, you will notice this line is going to generate an error or an error, right? So now you can check it out. Type error is there. List expected at most one argument got 4. So you can pass only one, right? So you can create the item or a list or manipulate with some element using this method, or if you want to use a list method, then you have to specify a valid sequence. I said here you have to specify only one argument, and that has to be a sequence. First sequence, we already know that we have passed a string, so this was the sequence of characters. Now what if I pass all the values inside the parenthesis? So here to here it is a tuple, okay, and it is a sequence which is similar to the list, but these are immutable. So I have passed only one argument, that is a tuple. Okay, for example, wait a minute, let me give t is equals to this thing, and now if I pass t, then you can check it out. My program is still working and getting type is equals to list. And now let us check out the type of t here. Let's have type t, okay, and check it out. So you can clearly see we have a t. So I think you should be getting what I want to tell you, that here you need to pass only one variable, and it should be any valid Python sequence. Okay, sequence are the elements which have multiple items in it. So here are the some of the ways in which you can create a list, and I think that's enough for today. And next day we are going to see how to access these elements and how to take an entry directly and convert it into a list using a user input. So till then, bye bye and have a nice day.